right. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to a coffee chat. I am so excited today because I've got Barbara Armentrout with us. Now, Barbara and I have just gotten to know each other over the last year and a half. She is an expert in helping associations generate non-dues revenue. Now, what is super cool about Barbara is she's also one of our leaders in the VenCon Organizing Committee. She's herding cats with a bunch of folks who are consultants and technologists and all different perspectives, doing a masterful job. And not only have I enjoyed getting to know Barbara and her awesome sense of humor, but people who I have known and really respect, and I trust and mentor, trust Barbara and respect the heck out of her. So I'm so pleased to introduce Barbara to all of you folks. Looking forward to your questions and comments as we post these things. And we're going to do the standard thing we do on coffee chats, which is two questions. What are you passionate about and why? And the second question is, what should leaders know about your focus area? So with
Mm.
that, Barbara, thanks for being here.
Well, thanks. And you're one of the easier cats to herd in that group. But in many ways, I mean, it's almost like the VenCon Committee is almost like a client because everyone has stepped up and said, yes, I want to help, but oh my God, I'm so busy. When can I? And so
So true.
that's why I've just with permission from the rest of the team, I'm sort of cranking out some orders and it's like, you will do this by such and such a day because that's how I function. If it's not on my calendar, it's obviously not important enough.
Yep,
So I don't,
absolutely.
I came out of years in publishing before I went over to the association side, which is so much more fun for me. But
Good.
again, if it's not on the calendar, it must not be important.
Yeah.
And what I'm passionate about is a huge, deep, dark mystery that I'm still exploring because I do love to continue learning all the time. And I was either blessed or cursed with unending curiosity. And that's why working with associations is so wonderful because I don't know that I'm an expert in anything, but I love to hone my craft and share what I know and can do to make things better while I'm still figuring out what is it that this association's members need and do. So I love trying to help. I'm not good at sports analogies, but help them move the ball, help make a measurable difference for folks that deserve it.
Right. Well, and you just said something really kind of interesting. Make a measurable difference for folks that deserve it. What was that moment when you realized, hey, these people deserve my attention? That there's something going on
Mhm.
here that I can really help and it's meaningful to me.
It's a little two-part. One part is that I worked for a decade at a marketing agency that I love and respect, Marketing General, had many, 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 many clients and folks that I was balancing. And I just found that I did my best performance for the folks either whose mission I embraced or whose personalities made my life more joyful even when I had to call them and give bad news. There was one person that I went to visit face to face to say, I had just taken over the account. I really think you should fire me because I do not see that I'm going to meet the projections that my predecessor made to you in the time that you need it, and your board is expecting that money to come in. I can't meet the promise, but here are three other organizations that I have checked with. They have bandwidth. They would be happy to take you on as a client right now, and they feel they can meet it. And years later, she hired me when I was in a different capacity in a different situation. And I said, I didn't think I'd ever hear from you again. And she said, well, you were honest. And I thought, well,
Oh,
that is a reputation that I am proud to, earn.
yeah.
So I didn't know the answers for her, but I had some ideas, but I really don't like stringing someone along. And she was so deserving of it. And we had such a fun time. It was great.
Yeah. 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 I've got, a few stories like that too, where you're like, I'm going to have to tell you some very disappointing news. And
Hmm.
the, that experience built so much trust and built,
Hmm.
I mean, we had an account like that where, there was a mistake made. I owned that mistake. And and they stayed with us for 5 years.
Hmm. Well,
You know,
and
and
the other part about what opened my eyes was that I love working on partner programs for associations where it's not just sponsorship, but it is finding a few key organizations who want to give some serious cash to the organization, not out of the goodness of their hearts, but because they are a partner in helping the association members do their jobs better, learn, move their career path, whatever it might be. But they are partners with the association. They're not the ATM where you just take out the money.
right.
And in doing this, I discovered that, you know, the hidden fact that we all know who are active supporters of ASAE, wonderful group, does wonderful things. The statistic varies, and I don't think we really know the true statistic, but more than 60% and perhaps as much as 75% of ASAE member organizations are small staff associations. And I was finding that the program that I truly love is just not realistic for many small staff situations. Because no matter what I can do on strategy, you got to have an in-house champion who is going to make sure. I mean, it's just like what you do with tech adoption. The consultant can do a whole lot, but you got to have an in-house champion who is just keeping things moving along, who can be a check on me for, no, that's not our culture, which is not the same as not that's not the way we do things, but
Hmm.
it needs to fit the culture of the membership and the culture of the team.
Yep.
So given that realization, it's like, oh no, I've just done myself out of most of my potential market. I designed and launched a couple of little programs that are smaller fee, smaller scale, smaller scope, but very reachable for a small staff team to start taking the baby steps they need when they recognize we could improve this. What can we do to start making the improvements? So I've designed an abbreviated program that gets the mindset adjusted for this is what we can do right now to make some money. And these are the things we need to be listening and looking for where we can really develop a partnership in the future. And then once that cash begins flowing, we can hire a person that Barbara wants us to have on staff to do that.
Right.
It's
Right.
my dream. But I just realized that there are so many of these wonderful little teams that do wonderful things. And I can't disregard their need. So I'm very excited about working with small staff.
That's fascinating. I mean, and a lot of our clients, of course, are small staff. You know, a few are larger size, but they, one of the reasons they turn to us because we have a deep level of expertise that they'll never be able to really establish themselves,
Mhm.
but they can afford a fractional one of us, and we can do more, in a short amount of time than they could hire and try to teach somebody to do.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
and your role, I think, is that sort of fractional. I want to say biz dev, but there's more to that. It's biz strategy.
It is
Is
along that line, yes. Of course,
um,
now you're reminding me of the old fractured fairy tales. Is that the fractional? No.
for all of us Rocky Bullwinkle fans out
Yes,
there.
yes.
Thank you, appreciate it. And for those of you who are younger, don't know what Barbara and I are talking about,
Oh, look it up.
it's worth your time. Uh, you may forgive us in the future for sending down that rabbit hole. So then you just kind of went into the segued into question number two, which was what should leaders know about your focus area, and in
Mhm.
particular, let's couch it in this kind of chaotic world we live in right now.
Mhm.
I just got done having coffee with an executive director of a statewide association here in Wisconsin that has they literally have a global impact.
Mhm.
Uh, kind of getting his view of the world and kind of the chaos that's impacting his members. What do you think leaders and others need to know about kind of, your area of expertise in the context of this kind of market space we live in?
Well, I don't pretend that I know all the answers, but I try to adapt the wealth of knowledge that I have accumulated of doing things for way so many years. And I will try to pick the practices and processes that I think best fit the situation. So I don't come in with a cookie cutter, here's what thou must do starting tomorrow. I spend a lot of time learning about the organization and their members, so that I can make reliable recommendations, something that is not just coming out of thin air. And I try to figure it out in a way that will, I don't want to say not be disruptive, because yes, I do want to be disruptive. I do want them to change the way they do things, but I want everyone on the team to understand their role in the potential success. I spent many, many years working in association membership, and I'm firmly convinced that membership is everyone's job, because it only takes one bad experience with a staff member for the potential member to not renew next time. And it's the same when we're talking with sponsors. It just takes one, unthinking comment from somebody about, oh, well, that's not my job, to potentially lose 50 grand for the association. And what I like to know is what the association's needs are, because quite often they need a new AMS, they need a new LMS, they need to invest. All the team needs new laptops by this time next year. They have expenditures that they don't want to pass on in a dues increase. So what can I do to find them a way to start getting some serious money coming in a sustainable fashion? So it's not sell another booth, no, sell 2 booths. Because the workload for staff, if you sell 5 booths or if you sell 10 booths, it doesn't make that big a difference in the bottom line, but it really does affect that staff person's workload.
Wow, what it
So,
is.
yeah, and I would just rather find a more sustainable way for the money to come flowing in, and they can count on it in the next time they're working on a budget.
Yep, yep, fascinating. I mean, fantastic insights that you just shared with me. And we've had experiences with organizations where it's like, okay, another bill's coming, and we're calculating what did we get out of that bill, and usually they're not inexpensive. And then we've had some organizations. I'm going to give a shout out to Nick and Zach at CultureCon, who are
Mhm.
amazing at saying, "Did you get value out of that experience with us? Who can I introduce you to? Who can we make sure that you guys had some ROI out of that?"
Mhm.
So, um,
And you
uh,
remind me of what is one of my first things in any engagement with a client is I ask if they can articulate their value proposition for members.
mhm, mhm,
And 7 out of 10 kind of fumble that a little bit. One flat out told me, well, that's our problem. We don't really have one. We want you to help us develop it. I can't develop a partnership or sponsorship program unless I can do the value prop for the corporate side.
right, right.
And the corporate side wants to know, what are the members getting out of it? So value is my favorite word.
Yeah, yeah, I love it. I love it. Well, hey, with that, we should wrap up. I think we probably, went over my promised 9 minutes, but
I'm
whatever.
sorry.
And no worries. I love the conversation. Barbara Armentrout, BJA Solutions, if I remember correctly.
BJA Solutions for Associations, and my website is bjasolutions.com.
Perfect, perfect. Partner of ours. Let me know if you want a personal introduction to Barbara. Happy to make it. And just, someone I'm enjoying so much to have the time I get to
Thank you.
spend. So, with that, thank you, Barbara. Thank you, everybody else. And I'm sure we'll see you at the next coffee chat.
Thanks a lot.